So 51 million rand in loss
Yeah.
since you've been here in less than a year. Do you think it's still worth it for you to still be around wanting to invest?
100%, I think it's worth it.
Why would you say that?
Remember what I told you about innovation in this country. The innovation is already there. It's just in the other parts of the world.
Okay.
So you bring things that are working in other places and you bring them here. After this call, we all decide we're canceling the show. The next day, I go to the stadium, meet with all of them. We decide we're going to move the show to December the 16th. And so I call him back and I tell him basically, look, I tell you what, I'll deal with the cops, it's fine. I have my evidence, I know I didn't literally do anything. This guy scammed us, like I'm going after him. Like, why are you now coming after me? Because you know I have money to pay?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Now you're trying to treat me just like Ticket Pro did. They came after me because they knew I had the money, you know, and Sedote was gone. So I'm there for 5 nights. The first night I'm in the cells, I get a visit from the Blesser. First time I ever met him in my life.
Yeah.
But he tried to get in contact with me through George maybe like 3 months prior when me and George were still friends. And we found out then he was not a person that we wanted to be around.
But lastly, I would be doing an injustice to the gossip blogs, the paparazzis, if I don't ask about that whole Kosi Twala situation.
Yes.
How did that even come about?
Well, the unnamed contractor gave the fake story to the blog. I've met the girl one time during the Burna Boy show, but it was in a room full of people. She didn't try to talk to me. I didn't try to talk to her. I mean, it honestly didn't bother my wife for even like 2 seconds. I mean, obviously my wife knows my type. So now I'm pissed. I'm saying to Brandon, how did you give Sedote 90% of the ticketing money on a 90,000 seat stadium and you've sold 6,000 tickets? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Which means he was scamming me from Jump Street, because the first report he showed me, it said that we sold 6,000 tickets.
Yeah.
That was back in July. Now here I am a week and a half before the show and I'm seeing 6,200 tickets sold. So now that this comes about, I'm arguing with Brandon. Brandon's telling me, look, man, I think we can sell another 20,000, tickets.
In 1 week.
We'll push 1 week. So even then, I'm doing the math, and I'm saying, no, man, I'm still screwed.
Yeah.
Because the only way this works now is I have to put up $552,000. It's the only way it works, because nobody's been paid.
Yeah.
So I tell Brandon, look, I have a decision to make. Send me that $783,000, because I'm going to give it to the fireworks guy and I'll figure out the rest of this $500,000. Now, I have 2 investors that wanted to get into the show.
Yeah.
So, but now I need to think and figure if it's worth it right now. I can't even think about Sedote right now. I just have to think about how I'm going to save my money. Not only that, remember I told you we were supposed to sign a piece of paper to make sure Mike Harris got his money back.
Yeah.
So I signed that paper. Kenzo signed that paper. Wayne Joyner signed that paper. Sedote did not sign the piece of paper. So Mike Harris never got his $500,000 back. And Sedote basically stole the man's $500,000 for his deposit on the show.
To this day?
To this day, he never gave this man his money back. So now you're sitting in this situation. Everything is a fuck up. So now also Mike's money is at jeopardy also. So now I'm sitting here and there's $2.1 million now almost up in smoke.
Yeah.
Plus, Ticket Pro is giving this man $552,000. It's insane, the money that he's gotten away with. All right. So so after this, I didn't have a bank account here at the time. I didn't know anything, about banking here. I bank in the U.S. So I had them send the $783,000 to my bodyguard so that he could pay the people for me. So they sent it. As we're sitting there, you know how F&B will block a transfer. So he's trying to send the money and they blocked his transfer. So I asked, Brandon for help, and he picks up the phone and calls the head of fraud for F&B. And he tells them the situation. The guy gets on FaceTime with me and my bodyguard, Damien, and he says, hey, did you tell him to send the money? I said, yes. He types something on the computer, and in 2 seconds, the account is unfrozen. He lets him send the money. I'm like,
cool.
All right, man. It's pretty cool, man. Maybe you guys got something going on here, right? So
something positive since you came here.
So I brought that up for a reason. That's important, right? Yeah. So we'll come back to that. So anyways, I end up leaving here, and I give the 6,000 tickets to Helga's assistant, and I go to Durban. I come back from Durban. It's time for me now. I'm calling Sodote. Yeah. This is now 4 or 5 days later. I've already talked to a few investors. They're ready to go. But now I need to decide if Sodote has scammed me, if he has stolen the money, if he just got himself in a bad situation. I don't know what's happening, but I can't blow up the spot. If I blow up the spot, I lose my money no matter what. I find out he has no event insurance, none of these things that protect anybody, in this situation. So, we go to call Sodote. This is now 8 days before the show, Friday. And I tell him what they've told me at the stadium. I told him what I have discovered. I told him that the PR is shit. I've literally told him everything, that now what I've discovered over the last 2 weeks of being here by myself. And he tells me, no, man, that $552,000, you don't need to pay it. The money got held up in my account. I sent wire transfers to everyone, and OFAC, which is the Office of Financial Asset Control, froze the money. And it's sitting in my account. And I'm like, for a second there, because this is my boy now. So I'm like, all right, this makes sense. All right, maybe he did this, maybe he did that. And so where he fucks up in the conversation is he tells me that OFAC told him that they're going to unfreeze the money in 24 to 72 hours. Now, remember I told you I went to prison for money laundering? Yeah. You want to know who seized my $19.5 million? OFAC. You know how long I've been fighting to get it back? Still to this day. Oh, it doesn't happen in 24 to 72 hours. OFAC is there to stop money laundering and terrorism. Yeah. So if they're asking you about foreign payments, that means they have to call these people. They have to talk to these people. It doesn't happen that fast. So now I'm weirded out, something is wrong. So I contact Sharif and I tell him my concerns and I think something is wrong. And he says, okay, look, Sodote is telling everyone that on Monday he's going to pay the money. Let's see what he does on Monday and then we make a decision. Well, we wake up that Saturday to an email from Sodote to all of the suppliers that says the same story he tells me. OFAC froze the money. On Monday, 24, 72 hours, it's going to be released. I'm going to send everybody wire transfers. Yeah. But where he fucked up is he put a screenshot of what his bank said to him. So his bank is Regions Bank. So where Ticket Pro gave all the money to is to this bank called Regions Bank in the United States, which is his bank, his account. I had no access to his account. So when we're trying to figure out what happened to the money, you start trying to go back to Regions Bank. You start asking Regions Bank to give us the documents, and then all of a sudden there's no documents. They'd have no idea where this screenshot came from. There's no such thing. So the screenshot says that OFAC took the money, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, it's real, but the amount and the date is wrong. It's from a year and a half prior. He sent some money to his sister in Mozambique. It was $2,900 that OFAC did take, and they were able to clear it up because it was his sister. And so he changed it to say $552,000. So now once we find this out, now I have no choice but to expose. Yeah. So I go back to Sharif, I tell him, he says, look, okay. He goes to Birdie. They decide we're gonna have a recorded phone call on Zoom on Monday. So Sedote, he gets on this call. He tells the same lies. Oh, facts. I'm going to send this. So they tell him, look, you have till 5 p.m. today to pay, or the show is over. Because even I mean, everybody wants the show to go. I mean, Burna Boy was coming. His manager was in the town. Everything is ready to go. He's given his radio drops.
Yeah.
It's time to go now. Look, you know, for me at that point, the show must go on. Even if it's not successful, at least I'll give away all the tickets for all I care to make sure it's a full stadium. Because Sedote was supposed to have a second contract in Cape Town, which I found out was also fake. But I'm thinking, okay, I can make my money back on the second show. It's fine. So you're all pushing. So Monday comes, he tells us that he's going to send out wire transfer receipts before 5 o'clock, but that it takes 5 to 7 business days for money to get from the United States to South Africa. So his plan is to give fake wire transfer receipts and hope that everybody's willing to wait 5 to 7 days. Well, 5 to 7 days is after the show. So he's hoping that he sells more tickets, he collects money, and he pays everybody, and then maybe nobody knows literally anything. So after this call, we all decide we're canceling the show. The next day, I go to the stadium, meet with all of them. We decide we're going to move the show to December the 16th. I tell them if we're going to do anything, all the contracts have to come to me. I'm not working with Sedote. If anybody's working with him, you know, I'm out. I then go to Brandon at Ticket Pro. I know that just as a businessman, I have some exposure. And I want to make sure that I kill this exposure. So I go to them, I go to Brandon and I say, look, I have this date for Burna Boy. We now know the true cost. It's $552,000 for the suppliers. He's already, half of his fee has already been paid. All we have to do is pay the other half. We can split the costs, you know, on the suppliers. We'll do the next show together. We'll all make money together. How much in refund money do you still owe the customers? The money that Sedote stole. He was sounds like 420 some thousand. I said, if I pay $200,000, can we partner on the next show? He says, man, yes, let's do it. We shake hands. This is on the 26th of September. So I tell him, look, give me like a week. I need to transfer some money from the U.S. I'll give you $100,000 first. We'll sit down and do a contract. Then I'll give you another $100,000, and then we're in business together. I open a bank account the very next day. No, I'm sorry, the same day, the 26th, I open a bank account. I transfer money to myself here. It comes into the account. It gets cleared. I'm supposed to meet him on the 27th of September. Now, taking one step back, the week prior, September the 19th, me and Ticket Pro go and open a case at Sandton Police Station against Sedote for what we all know he's done, you know, now. We give up the evidence, everything is there. Then, so back to this day, you know, my instant transfer limit was only 300,000. So I needed to go inside of the bank. So I go inside of the bank to raise my limit. And the bank tells me my account is frozen. Why is my account frozen? They don't know. They want me to sit over in this room. I go and sit in this room. After like 2 hours, these 4 security guards with the bank manager comes. Bank manager says to me, Mr. Wings, a case of fraud has been opened against you by Ticket Pro, and your accounts are frozen. And if you want to send any money, you can send it to Ticket Pro. I said, what? I said, ma'am, you must be mistaken. There's a case, but it's against this guy, like Sedote, blah, blah, blah. So the lady's confused. So she takes me to her phone, and she dials her phone, and guess who answers the phone? The same guy, Etienne Farie, who Brandon called in his office that day that cleared up my bodyguard's account. He's on the phone now. And I'm hearing his voice. I'm like, why is he on the phone? He says, no, it's him. Tell him his accounts are frozen, and the only place he can transfer money to is Ticket Pro. So I hang up the phone. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't know what's happening, but I'm just going to leave. It's fine. Just hold my money. It's fine. But nobody's going to tell me I have to send money to Ticket Pro. And I had a meeting with them today to give them money. You would have got it for free. So I was weirded out. So I leave there. I call Brandon. Now, Brandon is playing a game with me. Brandon's telling me he's the GM of Ticket Pro, but he's the owner of Ticket Pro. and Blue Label owns Ticket
Yeah.
Pro. Is one of his shareholders. But he's playing me and telling me his board of directors are putting pressure on him. And I'm like, buddy, it's just been a few days. You guys were giving Sedote money for 4 months. You expect me to come and pay you something I don't even owe you, and you want me to pay you in a couple of days, and I'm sending money from overseas. It doesn't work that way. And I don't even have a contract with you, for this. We're just trusting each other, right? Because I know if I'm going to do business here, I have to partner with local South Africans. I can't do this as a foreigner by myself. So we make this agreement. So I call Brandon. Brandon's telling me, oh man, I don't know what's going on. I think it was my board of directors, blah, blah, blah. So I'm still believing him because I don't know. So then I'm with this guy, this contractor that I swear I refuse to say his name, but everyone knows who I'm talking about, right? So he's with me every day. He's like my only friend here in South Africa.
But where did you meet him? Because you knew.
On the Burna Boy show.
Okay.
So he was working with Sedote doing club activations. So Sedote was giving him tickets. They would go out to sell them. Helga was giving him tickets. Tabizo was giving him tickets.
Yeah.
What he was doing, though, is doing club activations and charging the club. It's supposed to be for free, for us to come and put up banners and give out free tickets.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I find out he's selling comp tickets and he's selling these activations to the club. I saw something one day where he's telling people he invested in the show. I didn't even know this guy before I came to South Africa. Ever in my life did I know this man. So, but he was around. At the time, he was cool. He's funny. He's goofy looking. I don't pay attention to how people look. I like helping people. This is what he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
I saw somebody I could help. I thought I saw him as a hardworking guy. I'm like, fuck, man, the show is over. He's not going to make any money. Let me see if I can help him. And then he seemed to be knowledgeable, so he also told me he was a contractor. Of course, I want to bring my company here. So I'm like, all right, maybe this makes sense. So I call him and he brings me this lawyer named Chantel Rodriguez. I'm definitely going to say her name. And she's going to represent me. So I send her 3 million Rand. Because at this time, remember, Brandon is still telling me that me and him are good, that it's his bosses that have opened cases against me. He doesn't know what's going on. So I'm saying, all right, man, look, it's fine.
Hey,
we can all sit down. I am,
man.
man. Call me silly, man. But so I'm thinking we can still sit down. We'll work it out. I'll fix everything with your bosses. It's all good, man. So silly me, man.
Then you send the money
So
to
I send her
Chantel.
3 million Rand. So
What is it for?
there's 2 million, which is 100,000 already in my account. So remember, I'm going to give him $200,000, which is 4 million Rand. So there's 2 million in my account. There's another 2 million. So I gave her 3. So that 2 million that makes the 4 million that I'm going to give to Ticket Pro. The other million, she told me that my worst case scenario, if I had to go to court, that we didn't solve this, that my bond, my bail would be 1 million Rand. So that's why she had the 3 million.
Okay.
So I get a text from Brandon on a Sunday night that says that his board of directors wants to meet me in his office the next day. We can talk this thing out and fix it. So I'm like, all right. So I asked Chantel, like, hey, should I go? Like, I don't mind. Like, I want to do this deal. I want to move forward, blah, blah, blah. So they decide to go, her and the unnamed contractor, go inside of Ticket Pro's offices. I'm sitting outside in the car waiting with my bodyguard. And they text me after about 45 minutes to come inside that they've worked out an agreement. Everything is good to go. I walk in the door and I'm immediately arrested. As soon as I walk in the door. And so, ironically, I'm arrested by the same IO who has the case that I opened against Sedote, who has all the evidence that Sedote is the one that got the money, that the money went to Sedote's bank account. I have no access to the money from Ticket Pro. Like, he has everything. So I'm weird. So as I'm walking to his car, I'm like, man, how are you here arresting me? This doesn't make sense. And he's like, look, man, these white boys are powerful. Like, they paid to have you arrested. Like, let's just work out something when we get to the station. Like, I'll sit you in the back. I'll go outside. I'll negotiate. I'll come back and I'll talk to you. So I'm like, oh, shit. Like, literally. I'm like, this is insane. I still have my phone. I'm texting my wife, like, look, I literally think I'm being kidnapped. Because my wife is in the United States picking up more clothes to bring out here to us, right? So they take me to the station, sit me in the back. Chantel and the contractor come back and sit, and they tell me that if I give Ticket Pro this $4 million right now, they'll drop the case against me, and we can continue to do business the way we said. I'm like, guys, this is not how this works. I'm sitting in jail. Tell Ticket Pro I said fuck off. I don't owe them anyways. I should be suing them.
Yeah.
You know, so at any rate, I go to court the next day. So then they decide to book me. While I'm sitting there, the IO does my address verification. They go to my place, they sign it, he puts it in the docket, he says you'll get out tomorrow. I go to court, Alexander Court. They take me up in front of the judge, and surprisingly to me, the prosecutor says they need 7 days to verify my address. Now I know for a fact my address was verified yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and the judge is ready to grant it. The lawyer Chantel stands up and asks her to stand the matter down. So they take me back downstairs. The contractor and Chantel come to see me, and they tell me that they've been told that if they don't contact Ticket Pro's lawyers, that I'm not getting out. So I'm saying, wait a second. So a civilian decides if I get bail or not. Like, how does it work in South Africa? I'm like, guys, there's no jury that would convict me of this crime. I didn't get any money. Like, there's no way. This is the first time I find out that South Africa does not have jury trials like in the United States. I never knew. Now I'm shook. Yeah. I'm actually, for like probably one of the first times in my life that I've been actually afraid.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wait, so you're saying that lady up there is going to hear this case, and they're like, yes, these white boys are powerful. They pay judges, they pay this, they pay that. So we need to figure out what they want and just pay them so that you can get out. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck.
Right?
Yes, this is October the 3rd while I'm standing inside of the courthouse. So I contact Brandon, and I'm telling him what they're telling me. And Brandon says, look, let me call our attorney. I'll get back to you. So Chantel and I almost said his name, and the contractor come back to me and tell me that if I pay 2 million rand today, I'll get out. And then I can go and talk to them and we can figure things out. So they want me to transfer the money that's in my F&B account that was frozen. Yeah. So I agree. I get on a video call with F&B. The same Etienne Fourie guy and some other lady named Nelly. They asked me to hold up my passport. I showed them that I'm in court. I said, guys, I don't have my passport. So this lady says, well, I'm going to ask you identifying questions off of your account. So right then and there, I decide I'm going to answer everything wrong. And I'm going to get off the phone and say, hey, I tried to send you money, but they didn't allow me to.
Okay. So
I answer everything wrong, including my phone number. I have address, everything wrong. At the end of me answering everything, she says, okay, thank you, Mr. Wings. We'll transfer the money. And they disconnect the call. So I'm like, what did she just say? 30 seconds later, my phone goes off. There's a POP. 2 million rand has been transferred to Ticket Pro. So I go and I tell the Chantel, like, hey, I don't know what just happened, but I answered the questions wrong. She like blows me off. And she's like, look, let me call, them so we can get you out, blah, blah, blah. Now, magically now, no one from Ticket Pro is available to talk, the lawyers. So I get sent to Sun City for 7 days anyways, after you've taken my 2 million. Every day I'm in jail, the contractor is sending Chantel to come and see me with the demands. They want all the money that Sedote stole if I want to get out. Then it was half of the money. Like, they're going back and forth just toying with me every day. Look, I did 8 years in prison, 7 days. It's not going to bother me. Okay. South Africa jail, American jail, jail is jail, So did I like it? Absolutely not. South African jail, fucked up? Yes, extremely.
Western America?
Yes.
Really?
Violence-wise, not worse than America.
Okay.
American prisons are way more violent, but sanitation and those things is way better in U.S. prisons. But I'll be honest, I mean, in Sun City, I didn't feel like my life was in danger. I wasn't afraid. I didn't have any issues, whatsoever. So at any rate, so after this now, I tell Chantel, look, I'm not paying anything. Tell them when I get out, I'm fighting. That's all I'm doing. I'm fighting. I want my money back. Yeah. So what they didn't know at the time that I found out was the original contract that Sadote signed with them is completely fraudulent, the whole thing. So the contract has a clause in it that says that Sadote's company is supposed to be a South African registered company.
Okay.
And monies paid to that company must come in South Africa. Sadote was using, the contract is signed to an American company, Sadote's name. The money was paid to an American company in Sadote. The whole contract is bogus. Not only that, how negligent of you on a 90,000 seat stadium, you sold 6,000 tickets to give a promoter 90% of the money. It doesn't make sense. You're even screwing your customers.
Yeah.
Like I would never, if I ever saw a show on Ticket Pro's platform, I would never buy that show because what's going to happen to my money? That means you're just giving my money away to the promoter and you don't even know if you sold out. You don't know what's going to happen. It's just completely negligent. So for me, I'm like, they're screwed. I'll just sue them. It's fine. If they don't want to settle, it's fine. I'll sue. So I go back to court October the 10th. I go up in front of the judge. Now, mind you, while I'm in jail, you have fake hawks calling my family, my business partners, asking for money. They got one of my business partners for 120,000 rand, claiming they were doing investigations off the books. It was just scammers, And so I get into court. The prosecutor offers 5,000 for bail. Rand. The judge says no. My lawyer offers 50,000. I don't know why, and they tell me I can go. Now, mind you, I told you I gave this lawyer 3 million rand. I'm sitting downstairs waiting, like, why am I still in jail? And I go and I ask her, hey, like, what's going on? She says, well, it's going to take me 3 days to get 50,000 out of the bank to pay your bail. And
everything is money.
So of course, you know what I did? I had them go and pick up the 50,000. And they pay my bail. Now that was for her and the contractor to steal my bail. She put the bail receipt in her name. So when my case was dropped, she went and picked up my 50,000. So I get out. Now, before I go up to court, her and the contractor come and they tell me that Ticket Pro now is saying if I pay another 2 million, they won't oppose my bail. I tell them to F off, leave me alone. That was just more money to extort me out of. It was all fake. So when I get out of jail, I immediately fire this lady Chantel. Immediately, she must go. One, you offered the 50,000 for my bail. Two, she charged me 219,000 rand for 1 day in court. Like, what is this lady? So I have her send me my money back. After the show, the contractor now, he comes to me, and he wants to do construction projects together.
Tell me you said no.
Let me tell you why I said yes.
Okay,
Look.
now this interview is literally becoming the great Burna Boy scam. I didn't even see it going this way. But now you are even getting scammed after the show.
Yeah, after the show, man. It's bad. We're almost to the end of my scam life. So
Scam life?
Yeah, they've been scamming me, man. So at any rate, he sits down with me, my partner, and my two business partners.
Yeah.
My main partner is Lloyd, one of my best friends, 63-year-old black man. The other one, I will not name him. I'll just call him Mr. Nigeria. Actually, his name is George. So it's me, Lloyd, and George. We're sitting down with the contractor. And he's pitching us about, hey, guys, I can get these RDP houses. I know all of these people in the government, blah, 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 blah. Now, the reason why we decided to invest in him, because remember, he was the only person that was like with me this past month. So I thought to myself that I was rewarding him, by investing in him and trying to trust him. Because look, if you appear to be getting me out of jail, look, I'm gonna love you forever.
Yeah.
If you helped me, out of a bad situation. So that's how it was to him. He didn't have to scam me. I was gonna give to him anyways.
Yeah.
So we get inside of this project together. While this is happening, I tell him that the project must be in our company's name. Now, mind you, after the Burna Boy situation, my account is still frozen at F&B, right? So I tell him, now after I fire Chantel, he brings me a lawyer that he says is his brother, named BJ Radebe. And so this guy, BJ, who is not a lawyer at all, who is also scamming me, They two come to sit down with us at the table.
You're the most scammable person I've met.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed. But you got, look, think of it this way. In the United States, ask me how many times I've been scammed. 0.
And you're gonna get
Yes, Sedote got me.
South Africa.
But it's because I don't get bothered there. You know, I'm part of a circle that is, we're tight knit and people don't bother us. We mind our business.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I know how to navigate. Like right now, no one can scam me. It's impossible. I've been through it all. It's impossible to scam
now
me
you're
now.
scam proof.
I am scam proof. If someone gets me right now, pow, literally just blow my brains out. I have to be a clown if someone else gets me. So when it comes to this, right? So they sit down and we're telling them, look, guys, we want to incorporate a new business. We need to get rid of this name, and we need a bank account. So they say, okay, guys, no problem. We'll help you out. So they come and they show us the contractor and his lawyer come and show us this paperwork. Our names are on the CIPC. And he tells me the next day he's going to take me into the bank because my 2 partners are out of the country. So we go inside of the bank, and inside of the bank, they had me sign paperwork. I signed it. I'm gone. They give me a temporary debit card. I think it's my account. I'm the only one on it. I deposit cash, and my partner George deposit cash. And this is for us to do this project together. Construction project. So he buys a couple million in material. He does like this, what he calls sourcing jobs, where he claims he has to go out of town, he has to smooze people and this and that. That's just him smoozing women and partying. But we thought he was actually, you know, doing what, because in the U.S. you source jobs. You go, you wine and dine owners and whatnot so that you can get good jobs. Yeah. It's normal. So after he's blown through almost 5 million rand, he's telling us he's going to invoice October, November, December, January, and all of a sudden we're not getting invoicing, we're not getting paid, and it's excuse after excuse. And then he's asking for money on the side. He had me send 70,000 to some account that was supposed to be buying materials for the job. You don't know what happened to the money, where the materials are, and the way that he was able to put the contract in his company's name, what he did was, remember that day I said he took me inside of the bank? Yeah. That day that they took me inside of the bank, that bank account was already open in his name. He added me as an authorized user, bank account, online banking user. I had no signing rights to the account. I had nothing. He had put himself down as the 92% owner of our company, and he put me as the 8% owner of the company. So in January, when I find out he has scammed us again, because what was happening, when I was fighting the case, they were taking me back and forth to court between October to November. So my case was withdrawn November 22nd is when they withdrew the case against me with Ticket Pro. But every week, this contractor is coming to me, extorting me for more money. We heard they're about to come and arrest you for this. They're about to come and arrest you for that. But they're paying this. It was bad. And I'm just giving him money. I'm giving him money. And so he's just putting it in his pocket. He's using politicians' names. He's using police officers' names. I see him going around telling people that I record politicians. I've never recorded, taken a picture. I've done and I've met plenty. I have no reason to. Who are you to me? You're nobody to me. So for me, I'm just meeting somebody. I'm having a conversation. I move on. Now, if it's a business relationship, it's great. But I don't play people that I don't know. I don't play my friends. Like, that's not who I am. So going to January, and we find out that he has been collecting money on the jobs. They have been paying. He's just blowing the cash. He's just blowing through it. And he's doing things like, either he's pretending to be broke or he is. I don't understand, because he'll ask me for 3,000 rand for gas, and I'll give it to him. He asked me for 20,000 to pay his mortgage. I'll give it. It was just weird. He's just like this little broke bum. I just don't even know really how to explain him other than the contractor. So going past that, then I go after him. I sue him. He tries to offer me 2 million. He never pays. He owes me 13 million rand is what he owes me. And then one day, my business partner calls me up, and he's mad. I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? Oh, man, you stole my money. Me? What are you talking about? The contractor, he showed me that you're the one that stole my money. I'm like, what are you talking about right now, man? I lost way more money than you. If I steal from you, it's like me stealing from myself.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. I'm 51 million rand in a hole in this country. Why am I stealing from you? And so we get off the phone and I get a call from a cop that tells me a case has been opened against me from my business partner for fraud. That I stole $350,000 of his money. Which is like literally, it's just such a joke. And so I call him back and I tell him basically, look, I tell you what, I'll deal with the cops. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have my evidence. I know I didn't literally do anything. This guy scammed us. Like, I'm going after him. Like, why are you now coming after me? Because you know I have money to pay?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Now you're trying to treat me just like Ticket Pro did. They came after me because they knew I had the money, you know, and Sedote was gone. So I go, me and this lawyer, we go down to commercial crimes office, show all of my evidence. This guy says, this is not the story I was told. You didn't take anything. I'm just gonna tell them that this is civil. Like if he wants money from you, he needs to sue you, which I would have had no problem with him suing me. It's just business, you know, but trying to open a case and have me arrested is just messed up. So they send me on my way. 2 weeks later in April, I get another call from another cop that tells me another case has been opened against me by the same business partner. But now instead of commercial, because that didn't work, it's at Santon Police Station.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right, I guess I'll come and see you too. So I go there to show my evidence. I show him my evidence, and I can tell this guy has definitely gotten some money under the table from someone. He doesn't want to hear anything. He doesn't look, he doesn't read, he doesn't open, he doesn't do anything. He's just like, we're going to the cells. I'm like, going to the cells for what? What's the charge? Like all the proof is there. The money didn't even come to me. Like I've been arrested twice for money that never touched my hands, you know, in this country. So they take me to the cells. I'm there for 5 nights. The first night I'm in the cells, I get a visit from the blesser. First time I ever met him in my life.
Yeah.
But he tried to get in contact with me through George, maybe like 3 months prior when me and George were still friends. And we found out then he was not a person that we wanted to be around. So we like literally dodged him and was like, whatever. So this is the first time I'm meeting this guy face to face, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell you're doing. Like, why are you here? And it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's him and 3 other guys. All right. And there's one guy from the U.S. that knows of me that is also in the room. So he comes and he starts telling me that the contractor told him that I stole 10 million rand from somebody in Cape Town. I stole another 10 million rand from some white people in the North. I'm like, sir, first of all, what do you want? And I didn't steal anything from anybody, and I don't even care what you guys are talking about. I haven't taken anything from anyone in this country. I've only been spending money in this country, right? Yeah. So then he starts like, he calms down. He goes and talks to the American guy, and then he calms down. I don't know what was said, but he wants to talk. Okay, so this contractor told me this. Can you show me? So I'm starting to show him, and now he's like, wow, this guy lied to me. He stole all of the money from George, from everybody, this and this and that. So I'm like, yeah, okay, man, whatever. And then he leaves. So I'm like, that was weird, but all right, fine. Yeah. So now I'm thinking I'm going to court on Friday. Friday comes, there's no court. They take me, I'm still just sitting in jail.
In cells, yeah.
Friday night, the blesser comes again. This time, he's prepared with theatrics this time. So he picks up his phone and he calls someone who's supposedly this top hawk who has a case against me that he's coming to arrest me for on Monday. And they're talking, he's on speaker, and if you don't pay 100,000 rand, I'm gonna pick him up and I'm gonna do this and do that. Now, mind you, you're sitting in a situation where, like, if I'm sitting at home, I'm saying, what professional would be on the phone talking that reckless? Doesn't make sense. But sitting in jail at 2:30 in the morning with a guy you don't know that's freely able to walk in and out of the station like he's the police officer.
At the cells.
You're like, wow, like I don't know what's happening here. But I've already been extorted once. I'm not gonna get extorted again. So I tell him, whatever, tell him to arrest me. Picks up a second call. Now this voice, unfortunately, I know because I've heard it in person before. And he's saying something similar. So I'm like, what's happening here? But I'm still not paying. So I needed 50,000 in cash, just in case the same thing happened to me last time with bail. So the only thing he did for me, I asked him if he could get me 50,000 in cash. And he said, yeah, no problem, send it to my account. I'll get the 50,000, give it to your bodyguard. Okay. So I send him 50,000, he gives it to my bodyguard, who gives it to my wife. Saturday comes, no one shows up. Sunday comes, I'm taken from my cell to the station commander's office. Okay. And inside the station commander's office is the complainant who had me arrested and some other Nigerian guy. And they're there to shake me down. And I'm like, I don't know what you guys think this is, but take me back to my cell. I'm not paying anybody anything. I didn't steal from anyone. Take me back to my cell. So they take me back to my cell. The next morning comes. They let this guy come and see me again. He wants to talk to me one more time. I tell them to take me to court. They take me, put me in the back of the paddy wagon. We pull into the back of the courthouse. They take me out of the paddy wagon. They uncuff me. I had hired these two lawyers the day prior. They were standing outside. They let me out of the back gate. I never saw a judge. I never put fingerprints. I never had a charge. I don't know anything or why I was there. It was like I was kidnapped for 5 days, from Thursday to Monday. So I get out. I go home. And now my only mission is to find out why George think I stole his money. Yeah. Why was I just arrested again? And I know that, I'll say his name again, the contractor is the culprit. Yeah. So I go and I open a case against him. And I say, okay, guys, look, just please, please, please do it by the book. Like, what has to happen now? First thing is they order bank statements. So they order, his bank statements. The bank statements come back. They show me the bank statements. So I identify the money that I gave to him, over time. And I'm saying, why is my name on his bank statements? Because George told me that he had shown him bank statements and my name was on the statements as getting money. So I'm asking even the cop, I'm like, hey man, like, why is my name here? This doesn't make sense. This guy has never paid me 1 rand from his account. And in the back, when a bank gives records to the police, they also give you the EFT records. Okay. In the EFT records, it shows what account it came from, what account it went to, what the reference is from his reference and your reference. So it would show his bank account to his bank account, and it would have my name as the reference. Payment to Greg Wings. Payment for this, Greg Wings. So the whole time he was setting me up from October. Even the first money that I ever gave him, he made it like he gave it back to me. So when the guy George all of a sudden is coming after him with me, he goes to George, sneaks around and shows him all of these bank statements. So yeah, I'm upset with George, but I can understand why I would have thought, I'd be like, shit, well, George stole my money. His name is right there, So immediately from there it was enough for them to issue a warrant for the guy's arrest, and start looking for him. That's when he started dodging, ducking. They looked for him for about a month and a half. And then one day I find out that I have an attempted murder case.
In South Africa?
Yes, against the contractor. That I was attempting to murder him.
This is the one that was in the papers in August.
Yeah. So the blesser, who after I got out in April, and basically in May, he continues with these calls, right? So I end up meeting him afterwards because I saw where he claims that I was giving him money inside while I was locked up. I never gave him anything. The only money I gave him, he gave the cash, to my family for me.
It's the gift.
Yeah, the gift that he claims, right? So where he messes up in his story is he says that I gave him the 50,000 to get me a lawyer, but I paid $300,000 to my lawyers directly. I have the proof is there. Like, you didn't give me a lawyer. And why would you give me a lawyer for $50,000 and I gift you $200,000? Like, isn't that backwards? Shouldn't I give the lawyer $200,000 and give you 50? So at any rate, he comes to me with the first cop that was saying 100,000 are coming to arrest me. And what he does is he has me meet him at Tasha's one day, and he shows me the two cops walking in. And I can't lie, it was really them. And they go and sit in the corner. They talk. They were probably singing happy birthday to each other. But he comes to me and says, they're going to arrest me right now if I don't pay 100,000 each. So he has me pay him.
For the attempted murder case?
No. This is for a fraud case. That supposedly, this is when I was in jail. Remember, he made the calls to these two cops that were supposedly coming to arrest me again. The attempted murder comes later.
Yeah.
So now they're supposedly there to come and arrest me, one for a ticket pro case that's closed, and some other case for supposedly the George, right? So he has me send him 100,000, and he has me send his friend the other 100,000, and I leave. But I tell him, look, man, like this extortion stuff, like this is bullshit. Like, you guys aren't even telling me what supposedly the case is. I can't present my evidence. No, he said, look, this is for them to hear your representations, for you to get in front of the line instead of you having to fight a case for 6 months. They'll let you show your evidence right now. You can do I'm just,
What
all right.
nonsense.
I'm like, all right, man. But remember now, this is a guy that was freely walking in and out of a police station like he was a cop. Like, how am I supposed to deny him? But I'm just a tad bit smarter from last time. So I said, look, after I pay this money, I want proof that there was cases and they were dropped. So the next day he sends me a picture from a screen of a laptop where the cursor is still blinking on this picture. You know, on an iPhone, when you snap a picture, sometimes it's accidentally a live photo.
Yeah.
And when you send that picture to the other side, if the person holds that photo, you can see for like 2 seconds. And in the 2 seconds, I see the cursor blinking. So now I know you just scammed me. I don't say anything. I just block him. I don't say a single word. And it's almost like it festered with him that I blocked him, and he didn't know why. So he starts calling this guy that we mutually know in the United States. And now they're like these indirect threats. Greg, I think you should leave the country. Greg, I think they're trying to set you up. And I'm like, who and for what, man? I've done nothing to nobody. Just leave me alone. Just let me do what I'm doing. And so I get a last call end of August that says if I don't leave in 7 days, I'll be arrested.
Okay.
So 7 days, of course, came and went. I wasn't arrested. And then I find out that they've opened an attempted murder case against me. Now, I don't know how the law works here, but if a case is opened against me, which the contractor had a case from me against him that was open and he had a warrant, how was he, as a wanted person circulated in the system, allowed to walk inside of a police station and file a fake attempted murder case against me without being arrested? Without even the IO who let him file the case calling the other IO and says, hey, I have your suspect, what would you like for me to do?
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't even make sense. So then I find out about this because, of course, I went to the corruption guys and the rest and opened an inquiry to say, look, what's happening in this country? How do I keep having cases? How do I keep getting arrested? And it's the people that stole money from me. When is someone going to help me, right? So when they opened the inquiry, thank God, it shed light on what they were doing. So the blesser goes and says that I paid him 250,000 rand to hire a hitman to kill the contractor. And that's what the money is for. Even though now he claims it's a gift and the rest, he can't, his affidavit's there. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Now, I don't know if he's stupid or he didn't think, but I'm OCD. I don't get rid of anything. So if you've ever talked to me in a text message, I have it.
Yeah.
I have it. It's not gone anywhere. And I'm not keeping it for a reason. It's just there. Like, I don't feel like going back and deleting. So I have our whole conversations. I have you telling me that I'm about to be arrested if I don't pay. I have everything.
Yeah.
And now you're turning around and making a fake affidavit saying that I tried to hire a hitman. But what happened was the contractor paid him to do it.
Oh, Greg, you are a very smart man. At 22 years old, you had 19 million rand in your bank account, you are a smart guy. None of this, or in any of these cases that are opened against you, what makes you follow their lead, or what makes you just listen to them and not fight or ask questions?
So if it's about how we live in the United States.
Okay.
So if I'm coming from Atlanta to go to LA, my friend Wheezy is there. I'm not gonna go into uncharted territories without asking where I should go. So if I'm looking for a contractor to put in cabinets for me, I'm gonna ask Wheezy first because he's there, he lives there, he can stop me from making a mistake. So here I am, a foreigner. I've gone into other countries before. I'm in 4 other countries. I came here the same way I went everywhere else. And I always try to partner with locals. One, it's good to partner with locals if you want to get government contracts and those types of things. But 2, you get to learn the ways that things of how they go. So if I'm with a local and here I am helping this local person, I'm giving them money, not buying their loyalty, I'm giving them money to do business. So here I'm thinking that this person is at least gonna try to do the right thing. He's gonna try to give me the right advice and those things. And sometimes, unfortunately, I play poker. People sometimes ask me, how am I good? Why am I so good at poker? It's because I got tired of losing money. So sometimes, unfortunately, as an entrepreneur, as a risk taker, you have to bump your head a couple times and then you never bump your head ever again. I'll never bump my head ever again here in this country.
You have bumped your head way too many times in a very short space of time, you know? So 51 million rand in loss since you've been here in less than a year. Do you think it's still worth it for you to still be around wanting to invest?
100% I think it's worth it.
Why would you say that?
Remember what I told you about innovation in this country. The innovation is already there. It's just in the other parts of the world.
Okay.
So you bring things that are working in other places and you bring them here.
Yeah.
So I'm partnered with a Wi-Fi company, a telecommunications company I was telling you about. That's the only black telecommunications company in the United States. It's called Figures Communications. And they operate off of low orbiting satellites, meaning you don't need cell towers, I don't need a spectrum license, I don't need any of those things. Meaning with our device, as long as I have power, if I'm in the middle of the ocean, if I'm in the middle of the bush, as long as I have power, I'm connected to the satellite. I have Wi-Fi. So in a country, in a continent where only 30% of the continent has Wi-Fi, it's the opportunity to push that to 70% by positioning low orbiting satellites. Not only that, our Wi-Fi is only $12 a month. It's extremely affordable versus Starlink and all of the rest of those guys that are out there. The company's already in Tanzania. We're about to start a project in Zimbabwe. So most people, like silly enough, think that I'm a promoter. That's not what I do for a living. I don't throw shows for a living. I invest in shows. I have thrown, but that's not what I do for a living.
You need to clear that tag because it's sticking and it's not good. I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm a contractor. I invest in many, many industries. I love entertainment. I love it a lot. Yes, I'm a club owner. I've had clubs, all of these different things. But that's like my side business. It's fun. What I do every single day are these things. Not many people know that I have a gold mine. Not many people know these things. So if a person thinks I'm here, I don't know what you thought I was here doing, because my life is great in the United States. I've been here working, but I've just been trying to learn the ways of the land. So although I was scammed a few times, I've made a lot of money while I've been here. I was asked by someone to get a price for him. And you know, when you start engaging price-wise, if a person has to be serious, because now it's reputation, now it's don't make fake phone calls, you know. And so once making that phone call, you almost have to commit. So that person backed out, and so I went ahead and committed. So now we're just figuring out terms, places, dates, all of those types of things. But look, my original plan when I came to South Africa, the reason why I was excited about Burna Boy is because you had the chance to take the #1 Afrobeats artist at the time across the continent, you know, and you could be literally the live nation of the country. So now I've decided that I'm going to attempt. You'll see in the next couple weeks, I'll let you know. But to take 9 cities I've already mapped out. I've already spoken to the stadiums and everything. I'm working out the stadium contracts, and literally 3 of the biggest artists in the world I'm going to take through all 9 of those cities up and down through the African continent. And hopefully we can shed some good, really nice light, you know, of what's here for people. Like, this is an awesome place. You know, a person, I don't know what people really think I've been doing here this whole time, but I've really, look, when you're going to invest in another country, you have to have someone on the ground. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a risk taker, and I'm my own best salesman. So I'm going to put myself on the ground. God bless my wife. I mean, I just drag her with me every time, you know, but she's always there to support me. You know, sometimes I don't listen and I bump my head, and she lets me know. But I'm excited. I'm very excited. I told you my book will be out end of next month. I believe is going to be the release date. My story, this is just a fraction of the story of my life. Like I said, I'm 41. My story starts really at 16 is when my story starts, you know, in life. So it's there. It's going to be a good read, but it's also going to like be educational to help people. It's not just going to be a documentary about me, this great asshole. It's a book for people to be able to learn, a book for people to be inspired behind, because coming home from prison, they would treat you like a second-class citizen. Now look, I lost 51 million rand, and I'm being victimized because I went to prison 20 years ago. You know, so a person needs to understand even how it makes a person think and feel. You'll start understanding how a person can go back when you treat a person that way. Some people would just give up and say, okay, well, I guess I'm just a drug dealer, or I guess I'm just this, and they just go back to that way of life. But there's a lot of people that if you give them a little push and just a smidget of a second hand, you know, they can do magnificent things. So my plan is to create jobs. I mean, my company's here. I've already created jobs. My office and stuff is in Sandhurst. I'm in that area over there. I'm willing to help people that are willing to be helped. But just know right now, my guard is completely up. I will dot every I, cross every T, whether I love you like a child or not. So come correct. But I'm here to do some great things, man. So I'm excited, man. I appreciate you guys having me. I mean, you can ask me anything else. My dog's chains are real, if you want to know. I love him. That's my homie.
Yeah, that's your homeboy.
Yeah, he was with me when I got shot. I have his paws tattooed on my chest. You know, but no, I'm excited. I appreciate it.
I'm so glad, man. We're wrapping it up on a very good note. But lastly, I would be doing an injustice to the gossip blogs, the paparazzis, if I don't ask about that whole Kosi Toilet situation.
Yes.
How did that even come about?
Well, the unnamed contractor gave the fake story to the blog. I've met the girl one time during the Burna Boy show, but it was in a room full of people. She didn't try to talk to me. I didn't try to talk to her. I mean, it honestly didn't bother my wife for even like 2 seconds. I mean, obviously my wife knows my type. You know, I'll just say that. So it was literally just fake news. I don't even know why the news came. I mean, I do know why. When you've done something wrong and you can't do anything besides try to throw salt on somebody's name. Why would somebody make up that fake story? Unless you've done something to me. What's the point? I don't know this lady. She seems like a nice lady. I saw all of her fans coming to her like support. So she seems like a nice woman. Why do that to her? Okay, you want to mess with me, but why her?
She
you know, doesn't even make sense. So, but no, me and my wife we're good. Gold diggers, unfortunately, I don't cheat on my wife, so don't believe what you hear. My wife is beautiful, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on TV and somebody accused me of cheating. Me and my wife are good. I call her right now. You hear her answer the phone. She says, "Hey, baby, how you doing?" She'll be in good spirits. We are 2 people that come from you know, almost savage backgrounds. You know, beautiful women in the United States, they don't have it as easy as it looks on Instagram. They do not, especially in Los Angeles. They go through lots of things, being beaten up, raped, You know, those flights and those nice pictures, it comes with a lot. Rich men can be evil, you know, until we grow up as men. I mean, we can just literally be evil. I mean, look at Mr. Diddy now. You know, it just is what it is. So, but no, I mean, that's my answer when it comes to that. No, me and Miss Kosi Twala were not dating at all.
Have you ever met Diddy?
Yes, I have, many times.
What was it like?
I'm not I don't really get that excited as like over celebrities. So when I was younger, I used to be so excited on the inside when I on the clubs and they would be around. But I would always be telling myself, be cool, be cool, be cool. And over time, I just was like, whatever, man. Especially when you move to cities like Atlanta, LA, you see celebrities all the time. So it's kind of like who am I going to get excited about? So me, it's more like sports figures. Like if I meet my quarterback from my football team, I will be a fan. You'll see me act like a spoiled child trying to get a picture. But outside of that, you know, Diddy, meeting him over the years, it was always like party, like stuff, not the freak offs, like club.
You had to clarify that very quickly.
I'm in the club, he comes through the club. No, I've never been to any of his house parties or any of that type of stuff, but no. But yeah, we have met each other a few times. But personally, like, do I know him to call him and say, hey, man, why you do that stuff to those girls? No. No. But yeah, no, most of my entertainment connections are managers because that's who you need to know. Yeah. If you want to make money, if you want to just be Sedote, a cloud chaser, yes, you need to know Burna Boy's phone number. But if you want to make money in the industry, you need to know the managers, the talent agencies. Those are the guys that help you make money. Those are the guys that help you negotiate the good contracts and the rest. Yeah, knowing an artist, you can get, you know, the homeboy hookup, but how far does that really take you sometimes, you know, in that. So, but yeah, that's it. What else you got?
Damn, man. We've heard you talking and talking and talking the whole morning. Still humble as F, man, even after everything you've gone through. Any other last words before we wrap it up?
Yeah, you look, the humble side of me is knowing that if you ever are in an airplane, just look down. Yeah. And you should be able to humble yourself because even if you can see people, they look like ants. So here I am, I think I'm the shit. But from the sky, imagine how God sees me as this little ant that when he thinks about me because he has thousands of people like me that are running around. So don't take yourself so serious. It's not about what you have, what you don't have. Like, you know, it's funny. I saw something one day that someone said, I think it was the Blesser that said, I don't have a car. What did you see me driving? A car, right? Yeah, you'd be surprised how many of them I have. I mean, like these types of things. And, but God. in the end, why does it even matter? Who cares? Yeah. Don't take yourself so serious. You know, so I believe that's why I've been successful in life. I've never taken myself so serious. I have lost money, gone broke, made money, all of those things. But as an entrepreneur, you literally just keep going. So for me, anyone that would like to work with me, as long as you're honest and you're hardworking, you can work with me because you can make money. There's lots of money to be made. Everyone needs help. That's what people here must learn. Don't ask for help. Yes, you may get 20 no's, but you only need one yes. That's all you need. I got one yes one day. And sometimes it seems like things come easy. Things don't come easy. I hit the wall all the time, but the yeses that I get, they're big. They're big yeses. I hear a lot of no's. That's how life goes. Even when you have money, doesn't mean everybody's going to do what you want them to do. But the yeses, man, when you hit a yes, man, it's a home run. So I'm in my yes mode now.
You're in your yes mode now. Guys, that was Mr. Gregory Wings. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. So explain to us, just paint a picture on your worst day. What happened?
Actually, we around 3-4. Beshaya omunye umuntu elele embhedeni lapha, so yakhona it was about inombolo labo, so bemshaya la ngengidi nibizana padlock.
So tell us more about your relationship with Skim GP. Nibuyaphi and where did it even start?
Because indaba yami no Skim isuka like way before kwi-podcast yakhe. Kwi-podcast yakhe ngifikele nencwadi. You know, I think isikhulume i-podcast yonke yaze yaphela engazange ngibuze ngencwadi. Incwadi ilibelila in front of yena.
Ithi ngiphakamise
Angisho ukuthi
yeah, qhubeka.
abuye futhi kwesi4 yazi kwesi4 athi manje uyajola ngithi no angijoli yazenzeni before ngi-answer a-celebrate i-crew ba celebrate naye kwayena celebrate so mina naye saba ne-argument sa-argue efonini too much sa-argue until ngimtshela ukuthi yazeni episode le delete